Hi everyone, it's Ardith, and today is the start of Hanukkah, so I'm sharing my second ever Happy Hanukkah card with this new stamp set from Pretty Pink Posh. I'm going to start with some ink blending on my background panel. Before I get the inks out though, I'm masking off a white strip that will be behind my focal image. I'm using 1-inch post-it tape and the grid on my work surface to make sure I get it straight. And because I want the white strip to be a little wider, I'll overlap with another piece of tape, using the grid to make sure the bottom of it is straight as well. I'm going to use a couple of Catherine Pooler blue inks, Suede Shoes and Fiesta blue, and I played around with where exactly I wanted the colors. I started with Suede Shoes at the bottom, and I blended it up into the Fiesta blue at the top. I used my blender brushes. These make it really easy to get a smooth blend. And I'm not being shy here, my blending is full strength, so you can see I'm going over it again and again to try and make sure that that blending line disappears completely. I thought I was finished, but then I thought that the panel felt a little off balance, so I put the mask back in place to protect that white strip, and then I added some of the Suede Shoes to the top as well. These vibrant colors will soften a bit as they dry, and while that's happening, I'll stamp my menorah with Wow embossing ink and using my MISTI. I'll stamp the flames separately so that I can get them close to the candles. I live in a part of Toronto where there are almost as many menorahs in the windows as there are Christmas lights. Some windows have one that is elegant and traditional, maybe a family heirloom. And some windows have more than one, as though each member of the family is lighting their own menorah. There are even smaller, more fun ones with electric lights that are clearly for the children. I love the idea that both Hanukkah and Christmas traditions include adding light to a dark world. Once I had everything stamped, I poured metallic silver embossing powder over top, tapped off the excess, and then put it into my foil-lined shoebox lid and heated it with my heat gun until it was all melted and smooth. I'm stamping my sentiment right onto the blue area of my panel, so I tested it to see if it was dry by prepping it with my anti-static pouch and then pouring embossing powder over top. If it sticks, that means the panel isn't dry yet, but if it all falls off like it did here, then we're good to go. I stamped the sentiment with the Wow embossing ink, and then I poured the same silver powder over it and heated it until it was shiny and smooth. To assemble the card, I scored a white card base, and then I used my scoring tool to press down the crease. I like to do both the front and the back. I find that then the card will generally lie flat. I trimmed the panel a bit so there will be a white border around it, and I used a tape runner to adhere the panel to the card base. Off camera, I cut a circle to act as a mat, and I blended the darker blue ink around the edges. I also trimmed the menorah with a slightly smaller circle die. Then I used foam tape to pop up the framed menorah. I used a jewel picker and some liquid glue to add a few silver sequins from the celebration mix. I hope you enjoyed this video. This simple layout is made special with that rich ink blending and the use of silver embossing powder. Supplies are listed below in the description and also on my blog. Thanks so much for watching. See you next time.